Hey guys, it's Sippin' Tea with A and B. It's your girl Isha.
Your girl Bananas. What's up with y'all? The weather's nice.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's outside.
Birthday around the corner.
You feel me? Taurus season.
Y'all be safe outside.
Shout out to Aries season 2. Y'all get busy. Gemini season. Y'all get busy. It's good vibes. The weather's hot. Once it's 75 plus, everybody's outside. You might hear sure.
It smells
we
like
outside.
It smells like Duce and Casamigos outside.
And weed. So we really appreciate those tuning in, and don't stop. The vibes going on. Get your music, tune in, get your spliffs, get your drink, get your shot. We already got ours going in, and just just tune in and listen. And we really appreciate those who are tuning in or will tune in. We don't take that for granted, and we greatly appreciate
all the
it.
follows, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube.
Absolutely.
We'll be linking the links.
Absolutely. No, because more than a few people have been asking about the links, so my fault. It's been a little delayed.
Appreciate the growth on the Instagram too.
Hell yeah! Shout out to the Instagram love. Hell yeah! Facebook, Instagram, I wish Twitter. Everybody individually. I wanted to do goodie bags, but then I thought about my black ass not going to every single house to deliver those goodie bags, so that idea kind of went out my head.
We'll think of something else.
Yeah. We'll do something else. We'll do something else. But we really, really greatly appreciate it. So we want to just kind of take a little time off to talk about kind of the purpose on why we kind of came up with this podcast, what is the significance behind it, and kind of what anybody can take from it. B, I don't know if you want to kind of state your part.
Well, I just want to say we've known each other for almost 20 years.
Yeah,
it's one of those friendships where you pick up and where you left off, or
we just easily meshed. We knew each other for I'm not even kidding you. I think I was 11, 10 years old. No cap. No cap. And I remember she was the new girl. And all cute. And what's good? Little mommy. And you know what I'm saying? I really don't remember how. But just within 2 minutes of a conversation, we just clicked that, and from there it never stopped.
I think it's because we're both just very direct and to the point.
Yeah,
we're very similar, but our views are very different.
Right,
so.
right.
This is why we're doing this, actually.
Exactly, and that's a good point. Even though if you have two different perspectives and two different views, you can still mesh well and still obtain a relationship or bond with who ever. So that was just kind of me and B. It was even with distance and time, it never failed. We were always still kind of
even though I kind of had to beg you a little bit.
That's a little false, nigga. That's
I had
false.
to beg her a little bit to
nigga.
Really get the ball rolling with the podcast.
Because you're the vet.
I don't think she believed in herself, but I saw it.
But that's
and
the thing.
Now we're here.
Podcast that's not even my lane, so I wasn't really too familiar. But she's the vet, she got it. So I was all right,
I've done this before. I've dipped a couple toes, but this.
No, you got it. You've been doing this for a piece, so we're two good, people, two good, energies and vibes. Why not?
We're not gonna keep rambling on though. We
just wanted to give you a little, and I'll put a little throwback picture just for y'all to see. A couple people might be, might be tagged in it and mentioned, but you know how. Yes, we will.
Not this time around. Next time.
Yeah.
You might have to crop a couple people out. That's
fine, whatevs.
But what we were gonna talk about is
it being a bitch or being blunt?
Let's get into it.
Y'all think about that for a second.
What's blunt? Unedited honesty. Did I ask for it? No. But I'm gonna tell you anyways. To me, it comes from a place of compassion, and sometimes it can appear negative, but it doesn't come from a negative place. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Bitchiness is just, the intent is to cause harm, manipulation, whatever.
But then being blunt, you're like, I feel like the intentions of being a bitch isn't really there when you're blunt. I feel like when you're blunt, you're just like honest, like you got no filter. Like you got no filter. There's no malice, there's no ill intention. It's just like, that's just like, you got like, you can't even like help your fucking mouth. Like you can't help your lips. Like you have no filter. I feel like when you being a bitch, it's like you have that filter, but you just choose not to use that filter. And you're just trying to like, cause people like to be down and like, you know, make them feel bad, and it's just negative and like ill intentions when you're doing it from being a bitch opposed to when you're like being blunt. I feel like you're being blunt. Some people are
why.
Yeah.
Main factor is the why. The why. What's the purpose? Why are you sharing this negative statement to me or knowledge or whatever, criticism, whatever?
Yeah.
It's the why.
Yeah.
So there's 4 types. I'm over here like 10. There's 4 types of intentions. Obviously, purpose, knowing, reckless, negligence.
Okay, so there's like a couple friends, or not even friends. It's just in general. I could be in a grocery store. It could be something personal to me. Like somebody would like, for example, one thing I think it's like being a bitch. It's like I seen it in a grocery store. A lady was like behind this lady was like, oh hi. You know how they get down. So you know like. One of the women was like, oh my god, you're fat, like you're fat, like you literally gained so much weight, like what happened, like you're fat. And I was like in line like, am I being like taped? Am I like oh like fucking punk? Like who does that? And then like the lady, you could tell she was just like so embarrassed, so red in the face, so embarrassed.
She said fat, like the literal words fat.
Like you guys, and that's the thing. She said it like you can tell she was even trying to be malicious. I thought I was going crazy. This was like 8:30 in the morning. I gotta go to work. Ain't nobody got time for this shit, dog. Like I'm like, yo, like am I hearing right? And I even try to ignore it a little.
I feel like I would. Okay, for example,
Right.
Me.
Right.
If somebody's like, oh my god, you got so fat, alright, fuck you for being so fucking blunt. I already know. Hello. But you know what's even worse? The people that be like, how many months are you? Bitch! Don't do me. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking.
Okay, no, I know mad people that be talking about that shit. Like, women, like, they be going off about that.
That's shade. You're throwing shade.
But I think it's shade.
It might not be intentional, but it's like, you could have asked. Instead of saying, how many men do you? Bitch, you assumed I was.
But if that's your peoples, they should know.
No, even
if you're
strangers.
pregnant or not.
This has happened with strangers.
Oh, so well, then they're being a bitch. That's my point. This being blunt and being a bitch, and I think that was a bitch ass move to do.
Rudeness.
That was rude, and I intertwined that with being a bitch.
It is.
You know what I mean? So this is like the like topic of it. Like there's like a differentiation. Like there's like a big distinct. I know sometimes it like interrelates because it's kind of coming from the same common ground. Like there's like some type of negative connotation behind it. But I feel like when you being a bitch, I feel like you trying me, nigga. Like I feel like you're trying me. I feel like when you're like blunt, some people I met from kids, they're blunt. Like old people, they're blunt. Like some people even our age or middle age, they're blunt. Like some people can't hold shit together. And I met people like that, and it's funny. And that's the thing I was gonna say. Sometimes like when you're blunt, I feel like it could be funny. I think it could be like kind of like rude. I think it could be kind of like unintentional. I feel like it's just innocent. I feel like when you're being a bitch, I feel like there's a whole lot of intention and a whole lot of, like you were trying to accomplish something, and it was most times not like positive.
That's why it's about the deliverance of the message.
Yeah.
It's
you were saying that. You were saying something about that, yeah.
It's about the deliverance of the message. Bitchiness. Like I said, it's always going to be offensive. People stay clear of people like that. It might be family, it might be friends, co-workers, strangers. They're always gonna throw shade. They're always gonna sneak this. They're always gonna fucking have delusional competitions. Mm-hmm. All of that shit is just a reflection of just like poor self-esteem. You're deflecting.
It is.
You're deflecting. You're trying to put it on me.
It is deflecting. Because it's like, if you feel like, secured with yourself, there's no reason why you take, like, the breath of like air you have today to live to talk shit. That's my thing. I got too much shit on my mind to be going ahead and talking shit about somebody. That's ever like I'm just gonna put you down. If anything, people ask for my opinion all the time.
I don't even like bullies.
And that's the thing. And to me, it kind of like, you know, interrelates with being a bully. People ask for my opinion all the time. Yo, do you think I should gain weight? Yo, do you think I should lose weight? Yo, do you think I'm short? Yo, do you think I should change my hair? I'd be like, hey, if you want to do that and make me, I think you look good, but if that's what you want to do and be comfortable, do what you want to do. If it's about weight more, like not really like styles and stuff, but if it's like weight more, I would be like, yo, you gain weight, but to me, you still look bomb. If this is what you want to do, you want to do. And if you don't, you don't. You still look bomb to me.
You're a real friend for that.
Yeah, nigga, because I don't got time to put nobody down. Like, I don't got time to think about that type of shit, son. Like, I got more on my mind. And I feel secure about myself. I don't gotta put nobody down. I know I'm bad.
There ain't nothing wrong with getting self-help. It's about growing up. At this
and
point,
it's really that. You gotta get some self-help.
We are grown.
At our big ass age, nigga,
we're
we
all
gotta
in
be
our 20s, 30s.
Nigga, we gotta be 30. There's people watching that's gonna be 30,
already
31,
30.
32, 28, 29. Like,
I'm not 30.
27. I ain't either.
I'm 29.
I'm almost, because I'm gonna be 29 in like a nice hot month. But now, like, at this age, like, trust me, I don't want to sugarcoat things either. You don't have to, like, you know, justify things or just condone anything. But I feel like that's just a delivery. It's all your delivery, what from V was saying. It's all your delivery.
Self-help. A lot of people don't do that.
Sometimes I think it's tradition too, though.
You think so?
Absolutely, because a lot of people that are a little traditional, they were kind of accustomed and used to like you being a certain size.
It might just
shape.
be race too.
It could be. Hell yeah, everything erased about this time. Like, hell yeah.
Because I feel, I'm speaking for myself. Growing up Hispanic, I don't ever feel like therapy was something that was ever offered to me as a child. Obviously, something that I needed.
Black people, it was the same thing. You kind of like raised with the church. That's kind of like the old time.
Sometimes that's where some of the trauma comes from, but
I'm
not saying for myself.
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, not speaking.
Sometimes that's where the trauma comes from, like people who are, you know, gay and stuff. You feel like you're not accepted into the church. Depends on the church you go to and stuff. And
yeah, it really
that's supposed to be a safe place, and it doesn't feel that way.
And that's sad. It's like the most sanctuary place. It's like you feel the most neglected,
alone,
judged. Like, it's sad. Like, and that's a lot of places, a lot of people, a lot of demographics. Like,
it's like high school all over again. Literally.
No, now think about it. It kind of really is in an adult world.
Yeah, it's like high school all over again.
Like, we're just trying to say, and if we can pass on, you know, some positivity, like, man, like, we know y'all gotta have your people that can, like, ask for your honest opinions. And do give that honest opinion. But I think your delivery has every single thing to do with it. Because you don't know in the next 20 years what some sentence you say could affect the next person. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like, kind of like, just be real. Be mindful, too. So
I just feel like y'all need to just, it's the indicators, like the certain sentences that are indicators as to what people are gonna say, or like, to me, I call them get out of jail free cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you were mentioning that.
I'm just being honest, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Or I'm allowed to express my opinion, or
freedom of speech.
Like,
they always go to that. Like
that's a scapegoat. To say whatever the fuck.
It is. It's like masking.
That.
It's like masking you being like a bitch. That's my saying.
If you haven't found yourself, y'all make sure y'all find yourself. Yeah. We're in 2023 and
we're kind of grown.
We ain't getting lost in the sauce.
Kind of. We are grown.
Like, we're the new adults.
Yeah. I be noticing that at family functions. We the new adults. So like all adults. That, man, like you gotta do some internal healing with that, yo. Like. And it's the thing is like they would do to their closest family, closest friends, like associates and stuff. Like,
my brain just went.
This is the next topic. Maybe we could out some food.
Hey y'all. Wait, this was on arm.